Total Access presented by Payday with Scott Hansen. I'm Lindsay Rhodes.
Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Colts fans and a lot of NFL fans somewhere on that spectrum tonight, thanks to one of the most shocking retirements in sports history. Andrew Luck, the face of the Indianapolis Colts, rocking the football world by retiring at the age of 29. Today, the Colts had their first practice since the news broke Saturday night. Here is reaction from the locker room.
I was shocked, and then, we had a long conversation, and it was just, some emotions obviously going back and forth. But, when you sit down and you talk to him and you understand, his decision. And, like I said, it's like one of my good friends, so it's tough. But, he was like smiling, at the end. And, that's what helped me gain clarity and understanding of the situation and seeing him smile. And, I wish him the best.
A lot of hugs, a lot of cries, very emotional, heart to heart we had, and it was sad, but I understood where he's coming from because when he's in pain, I'm in pain. When I'm in pain, he's in pain. So we pretty much felt one another, and it was hard, but at the same time, I understood.
Mixed emotions, like a lot of people, I'm sure. Sad to not have him in here every day, but also very happy for him to be at peace with it and to have clarity with what he was doing. Happy for him and his wife, Nicole.
Tom Pelissero has more from Indianapolis.
Colts players returned to work on Monday, and Coach Frank Reich spent part of a morning team meeting speaking about the word paradox. It's a word that Reich says has helped him make sense of all the emotions he's felt over the past few days. A desire to respect and honor Andrew Luck after his surprise retirement, but also excitement and enthusiasm about this Colts team, now led by Jacoby Brissett, who went through his first practice as the true starting quarterback.
Jacoby has this presence about him that it's just not all about him. He's in it for the other guys. And he genuinely is about bringing out the best in other people. You just feel that. You see that. The guys know that. I could see it instantly. Seeing him with the guys out on the field. We are in good hands with Jacoby Brissett as our quarterback.
Reich said the Colts offense won't change much without Luck. It'll just be interpreted a little differently to play to the strengths of Brissett and this team. Inside the locker room, players praised both quarterbacks. Wide receiver T.Y. Hilton, who tweeted Sunday night he is dedicating this season to his good friend Luck, told me of Brissett he has heart, passion, toughness. He's primed and ready to go.
2 days later, and this whole thing still feels surreal. Willie McGinnis, D'Angelo Hall, I'm eager to get your reaction to all of this, but I want to start with Steve Wyche because you were actually at an NFL game when this news broke. What were the players' reactions that were playing in the game there?
Yeah, I was at the Broncos-Rams game at the Coliseum, and, a lot of the players, of course, they didn't know exactly the details yet because they were on the field, but Eric Weddle, a veteran safety for the Rams, he came out and he said, he respected Andrew Luck because he put himself first. A lot of times players, they put, the fans first, they may put the money first, whatever, and not be in it for the right reason. But he said if Andrew Luck isn't in it physically or mentally, he did the right thing by himself and did the right thing by the sport. I also spoke to Emmanuel Sanders, the Broncos wide receiver, guys. He's just coming off that Achilles injury, so he's gone through major rehab this offseason. And he said he was really taken aback, not only by the big news that a starting quarterback is retiring at this point, but at the timing of it. He didn't know how long it was that Luck's been pondering this, but to do this right before the start of the season really kind of blew him back a little bit.
I think that was the shocking part of it for a lot of people. People retire all year long, not typically right before the season starts, especially when your team's expected to be pretty darn good and you're the starting quarterback, D'Angelo.
Really good, and you just came off the season you came off, and that's what was a little weird to me. I've always said that I respected his decision. It took a lot of courage to do that because I know people who would have stuck around and not given their all.
Like you and I?
Yeah.
Not giving our all, but stuck around and fought through it.
You're like, wait, I want that back. I'm going to give my all.
Yes, my first 10 years in the league never got hurt. My last 4, it was injury-riddled season after injury-riddled season to the point that I didn't want to come back for year 14. But the coaching staff was like, look, we need you in this locker room. And I was kind of like, man, do I really want to do that? And so I understand exactly where Andrew Luck is coming from, but it just puts his team in a really tough situation. I do like Jacoby Brissett, but he's not Andrew Luck. I think we all can admit that.
No, he's not. And I think as players, you go through a lot of emotion and a lot of pain. And when you listen to Andrew Luck talk, he said injury, pain, rehab. For the last 4 years, this is what I went through. So I was a little disappointed and disgusted by the fans' reaction just because they're looking at a man walk off a team in uniform, not caring about his health or his future or well-being, not knowing what he's went through mentally or what this has done to him, and literally pretty much beat him down. And he expressed that, like, I can't put myself through that again, which means he was going through more than just football. It was other things that was affecting his decision. So I commend him. He's not the first guy. We've had other players walk away from the game because they thought it would probably be best if they did that. That's your decision. Nobody knows unless you walk in a football player's shoes that's played at this level what it takes just to get to a game on Sunday, just to get to a game, let alone play at a high level and be healthy. It takes a lot.
Well, really quickly, though, I mean, as a teammate, if you know your guy's not mentally there, whether he's a starting quarterback or not, Andrew Luck said he was mentally worn down. Would you want him to push through it if he's not mentally all the way there?
Absolutely not. And you got to respect that, too, because you don't want a guy out there half-assing it on the field with you. You want somebody that's fully ready to go, fully on the team, fully vested, all those different things, and you want him to give his all and be mentally and be mentally excited about the sport and being out there. If not, then you can't rely on him. And at some point, you got to look at your teammate and be like, dude, we're not getting 100% from this guy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's assume now that they have a locker room full of people that are mentally invested and they want to be there and all of that. How good can they be? This was a team that was number 5 in the NFL power rankings prior to this announcement by Andrew Luck, with the assumption that Andrew Luck was going to be their quarterback. You said Jacoby Brissett was not Andrew Luck. What does that mean for the Colts?
I mean, it means that they still have a chance. That division's not very strong. I mean, there's a lot of teams that we have a lot of question marks about. And now the Colts fall into that category as a team we have question marks about. They weren't a team that we had question marks about at first because we knew what we were getting with Andrew Luck. And so Jacoby Brissett, he will be able to handle that offense. They will be able to score points. But, I mean, you know, is Andrew Luck. Like, to me, Andrew Luck is in that top-tier quarterbacks when you talk about Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and those kind of guys. Andrew Luck was that kind of player for this team. And, you know, you take the leadership aspect that he brought in that locker room. I don't know. I've never heard Jacoby Brissett really talk very much, so I don't know what kind of leader he is. They're not only losing a great quarterback, they're losing a great leader.
I think there's a lot of leadership in the locker room, from the GM, head coach, all the way down. And I will say this, when Jacoby Brissett took over the team in 2016, I think that's when Luck sat out the year.
Right.
This team was totally different. The offensive line was different. Wasn't as many weapons on the outside at receiver, the running back. The defense was totally different. So we didn't see the full effect of what we started to see last year with Andrew Luck in this team. This team has gotten way better personnel-wise across the board. So I would say he's a solid guy. He's a veteran. He's smart. He is a leader. He knows how to lead a team. When you talk talent level, maybe not the same. But let's see what he can do now with this revamped team that he's on.
What's your guess?
I think they're going to be solid. In my opinion, just looking at what I see from top to bottom, I still think they're the most talented team in that division.
Ooh, wow. I'm not so sure about that.
I don't know either.
Top to bottom.
I mean, Jacksonville's pretty good. Tennessee's pretty talented. But, you know, look, Brissett's had more time. Houston, but Brissett has more time in this offense, too. Remember last time, I mean, he came in late. So he's been in this system for a while. The guy's been working with him all offseason. So, again, he may not be great, but if everyone else can elevate just a little bit, they're going to be right there. They may not push for the Super Bowl. The guys I spoke to said they're going to be good. They're not going to be Super Bowl good without Andrew Luck, but they're going to be a competitive
They're feeding
team.
off all this stuff everybody's saying now,
They
too.
should.
They better use it.
Yeah.
One assumes that the fact that Jacoby has been the guy there for a little while Andrew Luck's been rehabbing this calf, ankle, at least they have some reps with him and should be comfortable taking the field. A lot of varying reactions to all of this, obviously, including from Colts fans. Some disappointed, some angry, some asking for their money back. According to Zach Kiefer, who covers the team for The Athletic, Colts headquarters today got some calls from some fans demanding refunds for their season tickets. And look how their former long snapper reacted to that. This is Matt Overton. He offered to buy them to donate to patients at Riley Children's Hospital. Scott.